What's going on, gamers? Crazy day today with a lot of news, right? But we have some more insane news here, but there also can be misleading headlines, which is why AGN is going to cover this and make sure he does this correctly. So, because you know how the Xbox fan base can be, and a lot of other insecure PC fanboys. So, Sony PlayStation chiefs detail, if you know, these guys right here, Hiroki Totoki and Nishino, detail AI visions amid tariffs memory crunch. Here's the thing though, they did a full AI presentation of how that's going to be in pretty much every PlayStation development department, and it's going to help out Sony with development and gaming and all of sorts of stuff. And immediately people think, oh yeah, you know, we're doing the same thing as Xbox. Not even close. This was the key thing that he said that I thought was important. Human creativity must remain at the center. I remember when Kojima says he loves AI and he uses it, but he's never going to let it lead over him. It's going to be something that supports you. You're using it to help with certain things, but it is not going to replace you because it doesn't have a soul. This is why I wanted to get to this real quick. We're going to get back to this, but the important thing is to get down to the important stuff. We got a lot of stuff here. And this was the highlights in Sony's presentation. PlayStation CEO Hideaki Nishino gave an entire presentation about AI and games to investors, right? I told you my problem with AI is what's going on with it right now. But if it can help out and you're not replacing a human being and it's actually not taking your development and you're in control, like PSSR 2 that's the right way to use AI and combat NVIDIA. And you're in control and the results are good. The video game is still great. Nothing terrible is happening. Game sales are not tanking down. You're not losing the soul of your company and replacing it all with AI people. Then things can be pretty good. You just have to see the results, right? And so far with PlayStation Studios development, I have not seen any problems. So they gave an entire presentation about AI and games to investors. It says AI is a powerful tool to deliver cutting edge entertainment experiences if you use it correctly. But if you misuse it, you try to use it to take shortcuts, stuff like Unreal Engine 5, stuff like fake frames when it was too early, giving you lower latency, reasons to jack up the profit, reasons to cut off human communication, just have a bunch of AI operators. And then, you know, the quality is just not there. The soul is going down. It feels like AI slop, like Call of Duty Black Ops 7. When you start seeing stuff like that, that's like, okay, now this is definitely a problem. When you start seeing developers get lazy, where they can't optimize and they release you buggy games, stuff like that, what NVIDIA was doing, to where it's all about getting the new 5090 or 5080 and not optimizing for lower end specs all the way up to the highest, then it's like, yeah, that sucks. But if you are still having the same quality of development and you're improving and growing as a team and AI is adding in to help speed that up, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. This is why we want to talk about this. So AI usage examples mentioned right here. AI performance captures facial animation. That's nothing new. They've been doing this for years. Kojima does it too, and a lot of other developers. This is AI hair animation. Once again, not anything new. You see the upscaling technique with PSSR 2 making hair quality better and all that type of stuff. AI racing agent and Gran Turismo. That can be something that can help you. AI NPCs with their own personalities, it can help with that type of stuff. This has been said before. AI tools for payments and transactions. Okay, that's just AI upscaling PSSR. We saw the improvements of that. That's really good. AI for repetitive workflows. That's something you wanted for boring repetition. AI for QA. Nothing wrong with that. AI tools for 3D modeling and animation. Okay, now that depends on the situation. You still want human art drawn on a sheet of paper, and you know what I mean? You want that in the game more than anything. You don't want that to fully get placed, but if you find a balance with that, it just depends. Let's see how things turn out with that. AI to help studios realize their creative vision. When I think of AI, I don't think of creativity because it doesn't have a soul. It's not creativity. It's exactly what you program it and design it to do. So if it got some influence from an amazing creator and it can help them out and help improve their vision, yeah, it's supporting your creative vision, but it is not there to give you leading creative vision. That should always come from the human soul. AI to increase production efficiency. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It can do a very good job with that. So looking down at this chart, we see some things here. AI will increase the volume and diversity of content. This is what Japan is doing. And we know how artistic Japan is. They're one of the best artists on the planet. Asians are very good with it. So if you use it the right way, I have no problem with that. But this presentation is very important because it's going to give you an idea. And Sony's already letting you know what's about to happen. I'm glad you're telling me this ahead of time instead of just throwing AI slap underneath me like Activision's been doing. And they're not even letting you know that. I like open transparency, and this is the good thing that PlayStation is doing. Trusted franchises promising high quality experiences will stand out. So you're saying, you're promising me that continued high quality experience. Maybe you think of it as the movie theater rush or the however you want to think, but PlayStation engines are very high quality. Their story and direction is high quality, though there's some similarities with the way certain things work a lot. You can see it in Horizon, Last of Us, and a lot of other games, but they're still quality games. So if that is helping the studio lessen being worked to death, and you're finding more balance and you're actually getting better results and your staff is more healthy, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Definitely for repetitive, mind-numbing stuff and just making things easier. I'm totally okay with that. Going over to this, it says AI amplifies creative freedom, letting designers focus more on storytelling and less on routine workflows. If it can help you out with stuff like that, sure. Now, here's the thing where I'm saying, this is a different way of coming with a graph. This is where Sony outsmarts Microsoft again. And PlayStation is ahead of Xbox, because when they came out, they gave you a professional presentation of this and you got to see what it was about. Not just, here's my original AI, hire teams, and we're all just AI people where you don't know nothing about video games. You have no experience historically about it or anything. It's just all AI things and placement by a company that is chasing AI in a way that's way beyond a video game branch in the gaming industry, like PlayStation or Nintendo. You know what I mean? Because they have DLSS, but they're not pushing AI like that. So that's where I say that before the Xbox base gets out of control, which it's already kind of happening, we need to understand again, do not come with false comparatives, false narratives being pushed because you're an insecure Xbox fanboy or you're a PC fanboy that wants to feel insecure about that because you have no room to talk. NVIDIA is the worst. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is where we realize, let's see how this is being done. I like the way that they're outlining this. It's not just, we're just adding AI. And what do you mean by that? Show me what you mean. How are you going to use it? This is one of the best presentations I've seen because it's coming out and letting you know how it's actually being done. You're not just seeing, oh, AI executives hired, these are all generate AI. You know what I mean? It's like, no. You're getting a professional presentation here. And because Sony came out and did that, they're not causing confusion about how they're going to be using AI. So it says, AI will help our studios realize their creative visions. And if we look at this, Sony is putting this across all their game development departments. Now, if this makes your development, like I said, become more lazy, or it makes your games have less metas and less sales and people feel like you're giving them AI slap, it is going to be exposed, of course, and we're going to talk about it. But from the way you're presenting this, let's see what happens. Bungie needs something. I mean, I know, you know what? I forgot about that 700 something million loss. I think I kind of possibly want to do a separate video for that because this is about AI. But this is the interesting thing here. Sony is being straight up transparent with you. They're telling you, we're putting it all over here. They're not lying to you, saying we're not going to use AI in games. They never said anything about AI slap because Sony does not have AI slap when it comes to their first party games. They're high quality. Whereas like Microsoft flip-flops. This is transparent and professional. This is the way you do it. Once again, guys, they're outsmarting Microsoft in a field they should be leading in with way more money and way more focus on it, even outside of the gaming branch when it comes to cloud computing, you know, Windows, a lot of categories. And we see this right here. And they're putting Gran Turismo right in there because there's going to be probably an AI agent that can help you out with games and stuff. It's probably to help casuals or just make things easier. But I always feel like there's going to be an optional, you know, aspect to say, I could just ignore you. I don't really need that. And I could just still keep gaming like I want to. Sony's not going to be dumb like that. But I love the open transparency here. Now, I can see some people that immediately want to jump on this and paint it in a different light. Yeah, sure, go ahead. You know what I mean? That's probably going to happen. But like I said, it can be positive or it can be negative depending on the way things go forward. But this right here is really nice because you're giving people details. And I also want to show you where he said human creativity remains at the center. We're not replacing human beings here. So as we see right here, the best place to play, opinionated, the best place to publish, opinionated, empowered with AI. You have to say that because it's just how it is. Nintendo base could completely come in and say, I don't think so. Unlocked creativity, enhanced platform volume, and bespoke experiences. So to Sony, the way they're going to use AI it's just giving them the idea that we're going to actually continue to be the best place to play, and it's going to help us do this more. We're going to be the best place to publish. And if you want to talk about from the biggest like market in the gaming industry because all third party goes there publishing and getting the most profit besides Capcom, which grows more in PC now, then I can understand why Sony would say that now. Though Nintendo's publishing is growing too. But if you look at the amalgamation of everything combined into one third party, I mean, yeah, Sony has that vampire position, you know what I mean? But if you want to talk about first party, the first party, you're not competing with Nintendo software sales, not even close. But just overall, from like, I'm reaching all bases and I'm combining my first party plus every third party developer and the money hats, and you're publishing on PlayStation, and you're selling the most on here. We have the highest pie chart in the industry and the highest revenue because of that, with microtransactions, free to play, and all that. Fortnite grew the most on that. Yeah, okay, then I can understand that. I'm just being honest, right? Even though you guys know who I love the most. But the point here is that I understand this graph. It makes sense. And now we have kind of like an open, honest transparency of how AI is going to be used for the rest of the PS5 generation and definitely for PS6, along with cloud computing being heavy on that. And I think we're going to see a digital shift because it's pretty obvious as digital is growing massive, and it's like 85% now, I think, in the PlayStation world. It's a lot. So I think the PS6 is going to be digital only. I might talk about that in a different video, and it'll have the option, just like the PS5 Pro, to get the hard drive so that Sony can get that price right. I'd rather them do that since 85% of your stuff is there. And if you really want it, you can go pay for the hard drive over there. See what I mean? You have the option. It's not like you're forced to do that and you can't get a hard disk drive. No, you can if you want to. Let me guess, since PlayStation is doing this, you're fine with it. It's the way that they're doing it, bro. It's not, I'm hiring a whole bunch of AI executives and they're taking over my gaming world. That's not the same, man, as using it to help you out and then let people know that human creativity is going to remain at the center. It's right there in front of your face. Studio Japan closed, Studio Liverpool closed, Firewalk closed. I mean, this is fine. They weren't that good anyways. Bungie, 565 million impaired last quarter. Yeah, that's not good. This pitch today was AI hair animation. I mean, I can understand if you want to look at that to that certain angle, but we're trying to cover an AI topic here. We can talk about that in the other thing. I mean, that people are always going to close. Just because somebody closes down doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. It means they probably were not capable. If you're that good, you're not getting fired. I think the only thing to me that was a misstep was Blue Point Games, because historically they proved their position. He hasn't realized the biggest problem with Sony games. It's woke BS. I don't know about that. There was some stuff with that, but we're talking about AI. But I thought Microsoft was the only one using AI in their games, because of their new CEO. You see what I mean here? This is what I mean by like somebody is not understanding the difference here. Your games better be good. PlayStation games get Game of the Year contenders. You see what I mean? PlayStation games sell. There's a false narrative going around with Soros too, because it's like, dude, it only launched that day. We're going to see what happens. But I don't think Soros is a game that's going to sell like a ton of copies. It's like, nah, I don't think so, man. It'll sell a few million probably. If it can get like 4 million, that would be amazing for them. That's not a system seller though. But it's nice to have a high quality first party game. Forza is going to be a system seller or, a software pusher that's coming out this month. That game has that impact 100%. Nintendo games do that too. We saw what Pokemon Pokepia did. It already sold over 4.5 million. Yeah, crazy. That, like I said, that's what Nintendo does, man. Like, it ain't nothing new. So, increased volume of content, that makes me livid. You know what would help increase volume of content? Sony not laying off thousands of developers and shutting down studios. Are you serious? Like, their teams are still pretty good. But yeah, I mean, we already been through this with the cancel stuff. But it's like, the turnaround they still made is very impressive. No matter how many anti-AI videos Young Ye makes, AI is here to stay and it's going to be used in everything. Well, we know that. It's how you do it. Like I've said before, open transparency, and the biggest mention, human creativity must remain at the center. They're not replacing human beings. They're using AI to help assist. There's a difference here. So I play games here. This is the most important thing to me that was said. It's more important to me than that chart. Because Kojima said the same thing. Oh, I use the hell out of it, you know what I mean? But guess what though? I'm doing the most important things, and it will never be in front of me, and I will never sacrifice, anything important for it. Like, my soul has to be put into that. I'm the director, the writer, the publisher, all these sorts of things. I'm still creating and doing most of the work, but it's helping me for so many things. I've made so many NPCs with it. It's helping with a lot of aspects. And Japanese know how to use that well, and so do Western developers. A lot of people do. It just depends on what it is and how they're using it. That's why I say, guys, it needs to be covered the right way. How are you using AI? Are you replacing human beings? Are you using something to do everything that has no soul? Are you just giving people straight up AI slop sugar-coated with a bunch of bugs, unoptimized? That's where the problem comes in. Are you feeding the AI so much that you're ruining the economy of human survivability, of hunger, but for food prices, you know what I mean? Electronics being absolutely insane. You can see where it's used wrong more than it is good. No doubt about that. I will tell you guys that I don't like it for the most part. But if you know how to use it correctly, it can be beneficial. It just depends. So remember, it's your little side companion to help assist you, but it's never to replace, because it doesn't have a soul. So use it right and things will be fine. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this. This is not new. We knew this was going to happen. We know who's going to be using AI the least, though, and that is Nintendo. You see what I mean? Because that's just how it is. So I expected this from Sony. GTA is going to use a lot of it, right? But do you know how massive that game's going to be? But once again, Rockstar's development and quality and soul is going to be the majority of that. It just helped them speed up things. I'm telling you, if you remove that, you're going to see how long it takes to do things. Not going to be what you think. So that's why I say that's where you have to use it the right way. And this is not defending PlayStation or anything. No, this is telling you the truth. And this, like I said, is one of the most professional, open transparency aspects of AI I've seen, rather than just think about the stuff with Microsoft. Oh, we're not doing this and that. AI hire, you're the leader and you're an AI person and just AI hires here. But what were you really told how it's going to really help like this? Nah, they didn't do that. And they're letting you know all the developers are going to be emboldened with it. They're being honest with you. But human creativity is the most important things, and human beings will not be replaced. So if we think about this type of way, then we get the idea of how this is beneficial. But we cannot believe that it's always going to be 100% beneficial as well. We need to see how this is going to turn out over time compared to what they were before. They were fully emboldened with that. That's the thing. We need time to pass to get more answers. Later, y'all. Keep on gaming no matter what platform you're on.